Angela Sent uses her knowledge as foreign policy expert in relations between Russia and the United States, as well as Europe, to talk about the difficulties the United States faces in establishing a fruitful relationship with post-Soviet Russia. Impressively, she was advisor on Russia under Bill Clinton and George W. Bush, and she still maintains conversations with essential policymakers in both countries. She calls attention to Russia's priority of nuclear weapons, strategic geopolitical location, and its ability to harm or hurt American interests, specifically pertaining to United States Security Council. In addition to the valuable history analysis of relations with Russia since 1991, she includes interviews with Russian experts, and she looks at why repeated presidents have attempted to fix relations with Russia and failed. She calls us being fated with Russia in that it forces U.S. policymakers to heavily weigh decisions based on relations with Russia. The personality of leaders during the time have a large effect on how healthy those relations are with Russia. An example of a poor relation would be the personality of Dick Cheney compared with the cohesiveness of Medvedev and Obama that were more in line with each other. She looks at 4 resets attempted to aid U.S.-Russia relations. The first starting with George H.W. Bush making sure Russia was the only holder of nuclear weaponry in the former Soviet Union. The second involved Bill Clinton and Boris Yeltsin relationship. And this initially started off very, very well, and she labels this the Bill and Boris show. These relations eventually turned sour, as the other relations did. Vladimir Putin initiated the third reset with George W. Bush by offering to help the United States with their endeavors in Afghanistan. And the fourth reset deals with Obama and Medvedev, which led to arms control, cooperation in Afghanistan, and Russia's new partnership with the World Trade Organization. And a commonality presented would be Russia's unhappiness with their lack of equality with the United States, as well as their jealousy over United States dominance. And she calls attention to the inbox problem that she labels, and by highlighting the importance of dealing with hot topics that keep demanding U.S. attention with Russia. And success was celebrated with these resets, but they often ended with blame and disappointment. Another thing that I liked that she included was the exact diction and conversation between both countries' leaders. I thought that was great that she put that in there. She goes into the foreign policy implications from her research. She asks questions such as, what are the risks of a new Cold War today? Is Russia just too different from the United States? What Russia viewed as a time of weakness and humiliation in the 1990s, the United States viewed as a time of freedom and decentralization of power. She projects that Russia remains prevalent in U.S. policymaking because of 6 vital issues that require our attention. These subjects include non-proliferation of weapons of mass destruction, arms control and missile defense, Russia's NATO standing along with European security, issues with the former Soviet Union space, domestic conditions in Russia, and instability in the Arab world. Her suggestions on how to better deal with Russia include understanding that Russia will not conform to Western ideals of how a country should operate. And since the 1990s, Russia's main objective has been to obtain great power status once more and to be treated as United States equal. And these attempts have been constantly attempted and foiled. She takes on a very diplomatic, pragmatic, and analytic approach to explaining U.S.-Russian relations, but she offers very vague and general suggestions to improve relations. She does provide suggestions to deal with commonalities between the two nations. Counterterrorism, containment of nuclear weaponry, economic cooperation, and currently Syria are all areas that Russia and the United States views align and partnership could be strengthened. I find this book to be essential for anyone interested or involved with foreign policy making because of her rich background and years of experience, as well as the analysis of previous relations that are kept in the forefront of our own policy making. She's incredibly credible and very persuasive, and she exemplifies how the rocky past has future implications, no matter how drastically a leader tries to change from the leader before him. And to understand why we deal with Russia, it is essential to know that they are a global power. We need to know how to deal with them. We need to not let past tensions, pride, and inaccuracy in viewing the power balance between the two have ramifications for today's policymaking. Overall, I thoroughly enjoyed the book.